Hello, good morning, good day. So we are here with the update of the Amazon business. So it's not 4 months quite yet. I think it's more like 3.5. Today's December 12th. But I do have enough data to share. So we'll just do this like a mid months update. So we'll start with the numbers. Here you can see that total balance as of today is just over 1,000. So I did get a payout recently. So my recent payout was like $300 here on December 5th. So the next one is scheduled to be just over 600 now on December 19th. So the numbers going up, sales going up. So I think this was the first month when I actually reached over $1,000 balance. So that's a good trend. We're still growing here. So let's take a look at some other numbers. So sales, well, it's 5 in the morning here, so I don't have any sales as of today. But if I look at the last 30 days here, so I have set a daily sales record multiple times. So I think I was just under $60 previously. So I hit it on November 22nd. It was like over 60. Then next day I hit a new record, then the new record 84. So then about like a week or 2 weeks later, I actually went over $100. So that's a new record, which is overall positive trend. But it's not consistently over $100. I guess you can see it's like up and down. But I only had on here on November 19, I had like no sales, but pretty much since I think beginning of October or November, I had daily sales, at least one or two. And then you can see on this graph, pretty much, except of this day, like every day there's some sales going. So let's look at other numbers. So these are all the listings. So I have added few more listings, things I'm trying. Some of them working a little bit, others don't. But this is a learning process for me. I just explore, I try things. There's no right or wrong. I just kind of trying to learn e-commerce overall, understand how it works, understand how Amazon business working, and I don't mind sharing that information, anything that I've learned for myself. So for example, this guy, I don't know if I had it before, but this guy had no sales. Like I just tried something, I thought maybe some creative no soliciting thing, I just put it here, but no one was interested so far, which is fine. I have like a small quantity, and I just started giving them away for free. If somebody buys no junk mail sticker, I just assume that they might be interested in this one as well. What else? So I do have a FBA listing going in Canada. So this one I think I shared before, but right now, so I'm standing at 73 items in inventory. So I started with 100, and that was maybe 4 weeks. So roughly one sale a day, I think. But this is more expensive because of the FBA. You can see that the fees here, like more than half goes to fulfillment by Amazon. But there are customers who I think want it quickly. They okay to pay a premium for this service, so that's fine. And I kind of like it myself because this is easy to scale. You just send it to Amazon and they take care of everything, which is probably the way going forward. if it's a high volume, because it's very difficult to handle those by yourself. But this is a very good service. So, and I'm glad that they actually there are customers for this, for FBA, and I have it alongside with fulfilled by merchant items, which I send myself. And I still sell more items fulfilled by merchant versus FBA, but this is kind of started picking up, maybe because it was a new listing. It didn't have any reviews originally, so now it kind of has 2 reviews here, so that probably helps, but we'll see how that goes. And on the next step, I'm trying to set up a FBA in US, so that's kind of a very interesting area, because I hear a lot that US market is 10 times bigger than Canadian, and I think we'll find out in next several weeks. So what I do for that, I work with Alibaba factory in China. So I found folks who I purchased samples from them. They send me like 5 or 6 different materials and prints on the vinyl. So I looked at them. I selected one which I liked. This probably deserves a separate video in details, but for now this is in progress. So I have them working on 500 sets of these 3 stickers set, which will go to US Amazon eventually, and we'll see how that goes. So this will be like part of this listing, which I do offer on US and Canada market and here in my dashboard, but for some reason I guess Amazon.com doesn't get it. It shows like there's no inventory. I'm still learning. I'm not sure why, even though I have option specifically saying that yes, I want to sell it in US as well, but I'm not sure how this works. So far this is Canada only. I think I want to show something here before we move on. So I want to see which listing I want to look at, because that would be, yes, concerning reviews. So I used to be like 100% 5-star, but recently things had changed a little bit. This is still overall positive, and I got a few more 5-star reviews with photographs, but I'm trying to kind of understand, what's going on. So for example, I did have this 2-star review, right? But the challenge is somebody just left it and they didn't say anything. So it's not very helpful to anyone, because if somebody comes and reads reviews, they don't know what actually happened here. It doesn't help myself because I cannot improve, I cannot fix it. There's no way for me to even know if this is a legit review, because it could be, I don't know, could be some error, somebody just fat fingered it. It could be maybe a client didn't like a sticker or something. It's hard to say, right? It could be, I don't know, a competitor just saying, like, looking at all these 5-star reviews and just saying like, not so fast, boy, take this one. I don't know, it's really hard to tell, but there's only one, and I think I had 3-star on one of the other listings without explanation what happened. But I do have a good one here. So here's one. Weak adhesive. So this is, and thank you for being reasonable here, not giving me like 1 star, because I understand that there's a frustration, but hopefully it wasn't enough of a frustration to give me like the lowest rating possible. But this is actually very good because this is constructive, right? This has information. So they said, well, the weak adhesive and I do pay attention to those because that's very important, like for me to find the ways to improve, to see like what exactly went wrong, how we can improve it. And the person says that they love the design and everything, but they had a problem with like applying the sticker, so I had to use super glue, which kind of brings me to some idea here, because this is the same batch like many users used before, and that was very successful. Everyone liked it. I have them here. I test them myself. I know they're good, but there's a problem, right? Like, what happened? So now I'm trying to analyze it, because this is for me to kind of address this. I need to understand better what happened, how we can improve it. And I suspect that the problem is like a winter weather, because once you go outside, you're trying to apply those. They just don't work in the winter as well as in the summertime, because the metal gets cold. It has some condensate. It gets like really rough. The sticker itself gets stiff, rigid. It doesn't apply the glue, that adhesive thing. It gets like frozen if it's been exposed in the cold weather. So here's what I kind of work as a solution. So I did, and this is AI generated image. I know there's like a lot of negativity going on around AI images, not the real art, but I mean, it probably took me like a couple dozen iterations until I actually got what I was looking for. But this is the image. I just tried to find something, and like with a heat gun or hair dryer, show the image to the user, something nice, and have a text that, please, if you do it in the winter, bear in mind that you might have a problem if you apply it on ice cold metal. So I've added these images. The other thing which I did, and I will show you here, I'll bring it from the other screen. So this is the normal thank you letter I sent to everyone, and I just added this big banner here, a winter alert. So when everyone receiving the sticker, they will get this letter from me, with a little gift. And I also kind of describe the problem, and ask them, please take care of the surface, before you apply it. Make sure it's warm, dry, because in the winter that might be a challenge. So hopefully this, along with the image here on the listing, and I do have them. I put them on all the listings here. Like what I just went ahead and I think added to all of them. And then I have like, even like I have variation, like I have this guy, and somebody kind of recommended me like, oh, maybe if there's no power source, or if they don't have equipment, so just put like a bottle with the hot water inside and kind of warm it up, which might work. I don't like it too much, but I think it's better than nothing, because we need to make sure that the surface is warm and then dry, so it will hold, because it needs to be like in that state when it just applies, when it glues it to the surface, and then it will stay for many years. But I do offer, like, even here, I'll just bring it back here. I stated clearly that for me, happy customer is above profits, because this whole Amazon thing is more like experiment for me. It's not get rich scheme or anything like that. I'm learning. I think I'm happy that I'm not, at least in underwater, I'm making just a tiny bit of profit. This is very low margin business. There's a lot of competition, a lot of things that could go wrong, but the most valuable thing to me, I guess, is opportunity to learn, to grow, and then apply that knowledge in the future to something bigger. So I'm not like chasing big profits, so I'm all about customer service. I'm gonna build the brand, the name, and this is all I'm about. So, and I'm saying like if even if in the winter, I know it could be a user error technically, because if sticker applied incorrectly, it will not perform as well. But that's fine, because if even if user made an error, that's okay. It's on me, because if I didn't explain it, if it wasn't clear enough that this might be a problem, I will fix it for you. I'll send a replacement if you tell me, because I see that I had like a couple reviews, negative reviews with no explanation, no details, and I can't help it. I can't fix it, because I don't even know who left that review and what exactly didn't like. I just kind of like assume based on other reviews, that this could be a problem, so I need to address it. So hopefully I can mitigate it somehow with more information. But you can't make this sticker the same industrial grade, which were specifically designed for the cold weather, because it would cost a fortune, and it's just not worth it. So I do have like this listing, for example. I had like 1 rating, but I had few customers, so this not very, very popular, but I had people, like one person bought like 4 sets, and I run into the weight restriction, because the envelope by Canada Post is only like 30-gram limit, so I had to split it and even apply additional postage to make sure that on the receiving end they don't owe any duties to Canada Post. Speaking of Canada Post, I do have, and I think I even have probably, like in the buyer's messages. So these, some of them like related to customization here, but I did have buyers complaining they didn't receive the package. So, and that's kind of goes to those risks, because I do offer the lowest possible rate, which is like just $1.20, I guess, for that envelope, to just go as low as possible for my products. But they're not trackable, and unfortunately Canada Post loses those envelopes once in a while. Maybe 1% of them don't make it, and then I have to basically go to apologize to the customer and send them a replacement, offer refund, whatever they prefer. So far nobody asked for, well, they asked for the refund, but they preferred me to send replacement, and I think I fixed those that way. But I do want to go after Canada Post, I guess, this time, and see how they feel about this, the whole thing, because each lost envelope cost me like maybe on average $10 in product, shipping costs and everything. And if they lost maybe 10 plus since August, since I started, that's over $100 of a cost to me. And I do replace, I do fix it for my customers right away, no problem. But I think I feel kind of it's a shared responsibility. So I just want to reach out to Canada Post and see what they say. Would they be interested to maybe assume, at least partially, that responsibility? And we'll, I guess, find out if they care about their customers as much as I do. So I will update you on the next one. So what else? So we have this listing here, which is new. I had a couple ratings already. So what this listing is about, I did buy a cutting plotter. So that's a vinyl cutter, which can create pretty much any shape, any size of a sticker. So, but this is a vinyl thing, which you can apply on the car. You know, you can have like a small size, you can have large size. So I have like some examples here. But this is kind of like my attempt to do a custom decals, and I'll show you some examples. Like, for example, I have some on other screen, which I'm gonna bring on, like this guy, for example. So this is what I do locally. I would cut using the cutting plotter this big decals and apply them on the trucks, trailers. So this is how it works. Yeah, I even have like a video here of the truck, and I do use the same technology to cut like a smaller decals for Amazon buyers and send them an envelope, something they want, maybe for the bumper, you know, or like a door, anything pretty much. So that's kind of the idea, and this is how I know that the thing is not gonna hold well in the winter. So you need like a warm weather to apply this thing. Once you applied it, once it kind of stick itself to the surface, it will last for a very long time. Because I do buy, like in this case, for example, this vinyl is Oracle 651. That's designed specifically for any outdoor harsh conditions, so it lasts 5+ years by manufacturer. So it's a very good quality thing. And then that's basically this this listing I have here is using that vinyl, and then they have a lot of different colors available. So I offer pretty much any color. I can source them from the authorized vendor, but mostly it's like a black or white, because those are the most accessible colors. So that's another listing which I think I will be tracking going forward. You know, I had just some local buyers who, as a courtesy, you know, they bought things from me, and they just, I asked them, like, can you help me to, you know, leave your review, not asking for like 5-star or anything like that, just like, please let other people know that about your experience. And then I think, like, I had this guy, you know, they had decal, and somebody left the review without any pictures, but they were happy about this, and I'm hoping that this eventually would take off. And I offer it right now at pretty low rate. You know, it may go up by maybe a couple bucks, because that's just like about a break even. But even though this size, so that's about standard envelope size, like 9 inches by 4 inches roughly, that kind of size. If you go anywhere online, if you just like order a single item or just couple items, they cost like $20, over $20. I think my rate would be maybe close to $10, maybe under 10, just depending on I think the complexity. But I just want to offer the flat rate that includes free shipping. And though those other folks, they ask extra for shipping, I offer free shipping Canada-wide. I offer design services included here, like if it's a small touch-up, so customer would just send me any image, I will convert it into the vector, and then cut it, prep it, and then ship it for free. So, and then I will have another video about die cutting, plotter, vinyl plotter, cutter machine, and the process a little bit later in the future video. But this is something which I've started working on, and I offer like the other listings here, same idea, but they knew, so I just kind of like started, and we'll see if they become any popular. So yeah, things like, I guess the other thing which I will cover here is like I try to use the variations, because I know somebody maybe only wants one, maybe a set, maybe small item, big item. So I kind of created additional listings with those variations to see if someone would be interested. And there are customers who like buying those items randomly, I guess per their needs. So I have that, and I have, I think, multiple of them. So the other thing here which I did, so I want to see if maybe not this guy, I could be this one. So I just want to show something. Yeah, so it took me a little while with Amazon to actually get approved for like a vendor created custom thing, you know, like the Prevo. I wanted to have my company or the branded product, because the whole reason for me was to have this video, right? Because if you have like a branded offering, you can create the video and make it a part of the listing, which I found would be like really good, because you can show a lot more in the video than on the picture. You know, you can like turn item, show like if it has like a gloss effect, and just like I'm doing it here, maybe show the process. So I finally got that. That wasn't easy, because they keep declining. You know, they say, well, you need to have your logo printed on a sticker, which I was arguing like that's a nonsense. Like, how can I put my logo on a sticker, because it has nothing to do, you know. I showed them like all the packaging I have and things like that. So finally they approved me, and that kind of allowed me to create the video and upload the video. But this is a new listing, so I have other listings with reviews, which I think people bought already, so they still buying those. But I have this with all the variations, like different sizes, different sets, which I kind of hope to make my primary one and do better job on like explaining things. But this is one of them here, which I have. So yeah, some other things like what I learned so far. So like things, when I, for example, if I show you this guy, right, like in edit, when I upload images, you know, Amazon has like a strict policy. They don't allow certain images. Like, it's like, for example, this one, I wanted to help, you know, customers to customize the thing, you know, explain them more, like how you actually put the order and customize it. Because I found some of the folks I know, you know, who used it, they said, well, there's definitely a little bit of confusion, you know, how you do it. It's kind of like not as clear of a process. So I tried to help customers, but for some reason Amazon didn't allow this image. So I need to kind of see if I can redesign it, find a better way. The other thing here is, which I kind of experience quite a bit. So I have like this text, because what I want to do, I want to put enough information in the listing, right? So when somebody finds me, they don't just look at this picture, you know, and then they don't know what to do. I have a lot of details here, you know. I say we offer this, you know. I try to help customer to order, to customize it properly, but I found this is like a really big challenge with Amazon. Sometimes they just don't allow this thing. They don't like update it, because if I go to the listing, I don't see any of that. And I sent so many like tickets to support, and I found they answer real quickly, you know. They answer your every single request. So the volume, the speed, the quantity is good, but the quality is terrible. So I have to send sometimes like 10, 20 emails recycling the same issue, and I still don't get the answer. So you ask them like one question, they don't even read it. They just completely randomly sending you some documentation and things like that without even like, which is not even related to your question. So that's what I found like a big challenge with Amazon support for sellers. They just it's very difficult. As a buyer, I guess you have a high chance of success, and if as a seller, you need to get support. In the last like 3.5 months, I've learned that you're pretty much on your own. It's very difficult to get any help, any reasonable person explaining you things, even though they assigned me when I started as a professional seller, they assigned me like a mentor, or the person like account manager. Even they just trying to upsell you, like, oh, buy ads, buy this, buy that. But yeah, that's unfortunately like you pretty much learn, I guess, from YouTube, learn from other experienced sellers, or yourself by try and error. But I'm still waiting for this. So they said that there's something was wrong with this, like, and they show me documentation. I read that. I still don't get it. Like, what exactly here wasn't good enough, And I do have like some of my listings. Like, if I read it, like back in the day, they have like a clear violation of the rules. Like, you have a link or something, but somehow they missed it. They published it, no problem. And other things which I have like all legit, I verified myself, and I think there's nothing wrong with this. They just don't allow it, and they don't tell you. They just say, well, it's possible that you probably didn't meet one of those requirements, but they don't tell you which one. I think there's like maybe a group of people which reads them manually, and they just kind of make a decision in the moment. And depending who's reviewing your submission, I guess you have a chance basically being published or not. So, and then you have to recycle it many times. You have to send many messages to support, and this is kind of like one of the frustrations. But it's still working. This is like part of the process, and I think overall, like I said, to me this is like a learning experience. I do make a little bit of profit, but if I kind of put all the time and effort into this, so it's probably sitting around minimum wage. It's not like a high profit thing, especially at the beginning. And I know many people, like, they lose money in the first 6 months, so it's not something which you can get rich quickly. But it's very interesting. It's a good experience, and it's kind of like I'm happy to see the store growing, sales growing. There's good reviews coming from the buyers, and bad reviews, and some learning opportunities. So this is it, I guess. I'll keep you posted. So it's about 3.5 months into this business, still going strong, and I think that does open up the door for like a future opportunities, because you start with something like this, which is low risk, because you don't spend thousands, you spend maybe like hundreds to buy the inventory, and your time. But in the future, I think I will see if I can expand into something like some other merchandise, maybe clothing, which I heard is quite risky. Maybe some small items, from China. Maybe find a product which I could brand and sell as a branded product. Maybe have something built to order in China. The opportunities are endless. There's a lot of ways, I guess, to work on Amazon. Maybe even this, like, because I see that there's very little competition, in like a high quality stickers online. All the like big companies, they charge quite a bit, because there's like a lot of manual process involved. So lot of things, I guess, to try still, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you very much.